Me, I'm saying nothing. That's what you've been told about us women, isn't it? Too muddled in the head and too weak and frightened to even pass on a simple message. Well, oh, fiddle to that. We were there, weren't we? Which is more than can be said of these big men here. And just think it through for once. We were the only ones who could possibly tell anything about it. Isn't that right? We had gone with Joseph, Mary and me, when he took our Lord's linen-clad body and laid it so respectfully in the tomb. It was a bit rushed, as evening was drawing in, but we watched carefully, knowing that we would have to return as soon as the Sabbath was over. Then we'd at last be able to do for our loved one what no woman ever wants to do, but always will. To wash and prepare the body properly for burial is a duty we'd never shirk, come what may. But for now, we'd have to wait. The clunk of the stone being set into place forced a premature parting. There would be no rest on this particular Sabbath, just horrific moments repeatedly relived through the sleepless darkness and tear-stained, tear-filled haze of a day. And all the time the gnawing thought of a job unfinished, an unwelcome task that circumstances prevented us from getting on with and putting behind us. At last, the Sabbath ended, and the brakes of heartless religion eased off. We were ready at the first sight of daylight and set off as soon as we dared. We'd waited too long already. Along the way, we wondered how much longer we would have to wait for someone to come along that we could ask to shift the stone and open the grave to us. Not that we need have worried, for when we arrived at the tomb, it was already open. We wondered at this and entered the grave even more tentatively than usual. What was going on? Maybe Joseph or one of his servants had got there before us. But no, this wasn't Joseph's doing. There was no sign of him, and more shockingly, no sign of Jesus either. The slab where he had been laid was glaringly empty, and perched beside it, seemingly waiting for us, were two complete strangers. I can't remember anything much about them or even attempt to describe them. All I remember is that they were dressed all in white. Strange that, you'd think I remember. All I wanted to know was who they were and what they had done with our master. Opting to speak out before we could freak out, they urged us to not be afraid. They knew we had come looking for Jesus and calmed us with their knowledge of what had been done to him. But he is not here, they said, pointing to the place where we had laid his body. He is risen. And then they sent us off to find Peter and the disciples and tell them to go and meet Jesus in Galilee. But of course, being silly women, we had nothing of the sort. None of it made any sense to us, and we were simply quite terrified. So we ran away in fear and said nothing to anyone. Well, if you believe that, you'll believe anything. You know that is not what happened. Just the opposite. The gospel just didn't suddenly come to an end right there and then. We had an amazing story to tell and a whole new life to discover. No doubt others will go on and tell you more. And there is more, so much more. This was only the beginning. But me, I'm saying nothing.